hanging out and surviving like everybody else. So just thought it would be cool to hop on and chat. What's up, Jen?
Hey, yeah, what's up? We all know what's up.
Besides the blatantly obvious,
Yeah.
We can touch on that too, I guess, if we really wanted to. But
let's see if I can adjust this. There we go. Weird. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. What do you want to talk about?
Let's just talk about life, man. Just talk about business. What are we? I mean, it's like this is the craziest time to be alive, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I never would have thought that we'd be going through something like this. Like my mind goes to like real conspiracy theories. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but like I've read a lot of books, so
yeah.
I'm just like, oh my God, like it would be something totally else or totally else. See, I can't even English.
Words. It's crazy.
I am like so done. Like this is it. This is it. Me, God, we're done. Blah.
We're good. We're done. What's up, Mash? Welcome.
Hey, Mash. See, I can't even see the. Hold on. Let me.
Yeah, I had to pop a different screen open for it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I'm thinking, I was really feeling for people that just started businesses from like scratch as soon as this thing hit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Craziness. Just like to think about launching, because I think back, to when I launched, I'm like, there's always challenges. But my God, like to think about having like a full-blown pandemic where everything shuts down. And then, that when I started, it was like 10, 12 years ago. So like the internet was a thing, but it wasn't anywhere near what it is today. So just craziness, man. Like I'm still processing. I think everybody's processing it, it's nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't think there's another word to describe it. I told you guys that I shut my studio down. I was going to work through all this. I was going to work as long as I could because this is my only source of income. I don't have a full-time job anymore. I left it, ironically, a year ago, like almost to the day. And, I had a shoot on Monday and it was fine. And, some stuff happened. My makeup artist husband came home from the Amazon. They were able to get him out of Peru before Peru closed their borders. I think like hours before Peru closed their borders. And I talked with her and I was like, listen, like, he's probably doesn't have anything, but like he's been in contact with people traveling and it's probably better now if we just go ahead and call it and we cancel the next couple weeks. Because, you can't practice social distancing while you're doing hair and makeup. So
yeah, that was a big thing for us too. It was like, even if we had a safe distance, like you still have to consider those that you're working with too.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm high risk because I have asthma. And so anybody with a chronic like respiratory condition, is at high risk. And it's very mild for me. I don't know if that makes a difference in the virus, but I was okay to keep working because I don't come into contact with a lot of people. I'm kind of a homebody, you guys. Like I never leave my house. So, yeah, we decided to call it. So we've been rescheduling people. It hasn't been fun, but at the end of the day, like you're learning some stuff about you. So
what do you do? It's like,
yeah,
like, I think we all had that moment and maybe some of us still do. And like, I know I even will go through bouts of like, what are we doing? But this is like prime time to actually really learn and adjust on the fly and do some things that you probably just didn't have the time to do otherwise normally,
Yeah. I can actually write my blog post. I don't have a reason. I don't have an excuse anymore to sit around and not do those. So
I think the problem is when the ban lifts and all that, then you're like, shit, I got to write all these blog posts again. So like finding somebody to start doing some of those things once you get back, to normal is probably another thing. But yeah.
So Mash said, Jen, you will rock this and come back stronger. Mash also closed down. Thank you, Mash, by the way. I hope so. Mash also closed down and she's praying that it passes quickly. Any guesses as to how long until it's cool to reopen? Okay, so I'm going to tell you, obviously you guys know I'm not an expert. I'm a photographer. I'm not a scientist. I practically failed science in high school and also math, by the way, although I'm a much better math person now. My best friend is a biochemist. She works in a lab at Iowa State. She develops like antigens that go into vaccines and things like that. I don't think she's working on anything for coronavirus, you guys. Like she would have told me. My husband works for biotech. They are working on a coronavirus vaccine. There are several companies working on a coronavirus vaccine. There was some stuff in the news I was talking to my husband about yesterday, I think actually. There's a company out in Seattle called Moderna that the NIH is working with. They have fast-tracked a vaccine. So normally a vaccine's lifespan is from ideation to vaccine creation is you're talking like 15 to 20 years. That's obviously not going to work in this situation. So, I mean, we otherwise just let us all get it and play the card that you're played. So Moderna is actually, they have fast tracked the vaccine. They have a prototype already. They skipped animal testing completely. And they have moved to human clinical trials. This is outside of the norm of what the FDA requires, that, as I understand it. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. It might be that the FDA says, cool, we're going to make an exception to this. They'll be able to get it out. If that's the case and the human clinical trials go well, I think they'll be able to get something out within the next 14 to 18 months, based on my knowledge of the industry, which is very high level and secondary.
So your best case is you're looking at something for next year if it's
and the reason why they're asking people to self-isolate is just to slow down the progress, because you don't want to overwhelm the medical community and the resources that we are.
They can't handle it. I was seeing something in New York. They're thinking about converting a lot of hotels into hospitals.
So to Mash, answer your question, we don't really know. It's obviously I heard Trump say that in an article that it could go as long as August, but that, I mean, economically that's really not feasible. No. It would create just such economic strife for the entire country, or globally, really. It's not realistic to think that. So I'm probably going to say, we could probably plan on this for 6 to 8 weeks. But again, nobody really knows. So I'm just saying, I would plan for the next 6 to 8 weeks. If we are able to open sooner, that's awesome. If we are not able to open even at 6 to 8 weeks, I don't even know.
I think I had 60 days.
That seems like a long time. It's extravagant.
2 months. I mean, basically 2 months to be out of work is
that's the thing, yeah, especially because most of the country, or most of the businesses in this country, are small businesses. So, I don't know. So
the cool thing though is that we can start doing things from home, right? Like we can start shifting gears a little bit and maybe trying things that we weren't doing before, because it may be one of the few or only options available. I mean, that's one thing that Justin and I have been talking about a lot. What can we do differently that we weren't doing before, but now that our hands are sort of tied,
Yeah, this is the time, you guys.
Yeah.
To put your processes in place to make sure, to go back through everything that you're oh, I'm going to work on that later. I'll do that later. All the stuff you've backburnered, get it done now. There's no better time to do it. The world has slowed us down. You have the time. So
this is definitely
it. So hopefully, I don't know, Mash. I'm in the same boat as you, so we'll see.
I think that's the hard part. Is we all want to reopen the doors ASAP, but it's
I mean,
there are people in our building that are still taking sessions, and I'm not doing that.
I mean, it's everybody has to assess their own risk. I'm high risk because of the asthma. I was still happy to work because it is a one-on-one environment. It's very low risk, but you really don't know who has had contact with somebody who's asymptomatic. Number one. Because the incubation period is so long, and you don't know who you're going to have come into contact with, even in self-isolation. I went to the grocery store the other day, which was a horrible experience because I don't grocery shop. So that was bad. Anyway, we won't get into that. And, there's people in the grocery store, and there wasn't a lot of people, but, you're coming within 6 feet of some people sometimes.
Yeah.
So, if you've got an elderly shopping and you had come into contact with somebody earlier who's asymptomatic and you potentially have passed that, they just don't know enough about the virus for anybody to be careless. So that was the other reason that I decided to close myself. I know that was kind of the reason you guys decided to close, because it's such an unknown. Nobody knows. It's
just not worth it to us to feel I mean, look, everybody is in a position where hey, shutting the doors, cutting off revenue, or at least what you pretty much bank on as revenue, is fun. Nobody wants to do that. But you have to look at the longer play, the longer term picture. And for me, it's that we'll get through it. We always have gotten through it. And, it's going to be a setback for a lot of people. But at the end of the day, it's like, what else are you going to do? Do you really want to risk going in there, getting something? And even if it doesn't affect you, I personally don't want to know my consciousness to have to, potentially affect somebody, like take it to my parents or something, like that's probably a pretty common consideration people have.
And sorry, I keep doing this. I was hugging my cat earlier.
And I have allergies.
So Kimmy wanted to know, like, what are we doing for client order pickups? She's got an immune issue, so it's a tough call for her. Yeah. I have not sent out order pickup emails yet. I only have one that I have to send right now because I'm still waiting on some artwork to get to me, which I'm checking in. My cat's probably going to say hi at some point during all this because she's staring at me. I would say that if you can ask them if they're okay waiting for their artwork, and if not, you guys could arrange so that you can leave it on the porch, open the door when they get there, place it, step away, let them pick it up, and then send them, like, if you have forms. I have forms they have to sign, so it's just like a delivery acceptance form to make sure everything is good. Also helps prevent chargebacks, FYI. So you could probably do something like that. So you guys aren't coming within that 6-foot distance, but I would not let them into your house if you have an issue.
That's my thought too. It's like the weirdest thought ever to say, like, leave it on the porch or leave it out in the house.
Pick up, just like Marketplace. But like be there, obviously, when they get there. On the porch, step back, let them pick it up, wave.
Kim, I don't feel bad about telling them that if I'm leaving. You just say, hey, look, it is what it is. I can't compromise myself, and so I'm going to leave it out front. There's a little form. Just sign that, and just take the box, and like maybe leave like a rock or something to weigh the form down when they leave.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think these are unprecedented times, and like we're going to have to do different things. So there's no problem with that.
So Mindy, I know that you had a question. You had messaged me earlier. If you can type it in here.
What's up, Mindy?
So, and then we'll come back to your question in a second. So Mash wants to know, like, she hasn't resigned her lease yet, but she's debating pulling everything out and shutting her space down. She's worried she won't be able to get it back. Talk to your landlord first, because I know there are landlords who are waiving or extending leases and waiving like that month because nobody can work. So I haven't done that yet. I hope it doesn't come to that. But that if it comes to that, I will just ask my landlord, be like, listen, I haven't been able to work. This is not your fault. It's not my fault. What can you do to help me? It's totally okay to ask that because we're all in this together. Like in the end, it's going to cost them more to find another tenant for your studio than it is for them to help you out.
That's right. And they want you ultimately more as a long-term renter than like to see you struggle for a month or two. Like I'm sure if I'm a landlord, I'm willing to work with you through that as well. And I know your space, Jen, your space was vacant for a little while, wasn't it? Like they had a hard time filling it.
It was vacant for 8 months.
Yeah.
So, and that's why I walked away from it the first time because I went and saw it in May of last year. So it's been almost a year actually. And so I went and saw it. It needed a lot of renovations, and I think it was like we estimated about $10,000 in renovations. It was less than that, but it ended up being about $10,000 with renovations and buying things for the studio and all that stuff. So I walked away. I was like, I can't afford that, and last month rent for security deposit and all that stuff. And so I walked away, and I was like, if it's meant to be, it'll come back to me, and it did. He reached out to me at the end of July, and he was like, it's still available if you're still looking for a place. And I was. And so I went in and I talked to him and I said, listen, I don't want to pay a whole month's rent and security deposit because this is a warehouse space. I'm not going to do any damage to it. It's going to be better off than I left it.
Yeah.
And, or with them.
I think you're improving it. Yeah.
Yeah. I will be improving it. And I also, let's go halvesies on this reno. And so he ended up giving me 2 months of free rent abatement technically at the beginning of my lease. So, yeah, I think landlords they're going to work with you. They don't want empty spaces. That doesn't benefit them. So it doesn't hurt to just lay it out on the table and say, listen, this is my situation. Like what can we do so that I don't have to pull out and I'm not spending money on rent when I haven't earned any money? And what can I do to help you keep me as a long-term tenant? The worst you can say is nothing. Leave. You already know that. So.
Yep. I agree on every aspect of that. I mean, those are really the two options. You know, you can fold it up or you can go in there and try to put a game plan together. I would pitch a game plan though, for sure. I wouldn't go in and just be like, hey, what can you do? Like kind of do what Jen was saying. Like you kind of go in, like you have something in place that, hey, I'm willing to do this. I'm willing to extend by a month or two. Can you give me a grace period being what's going on in the market right now?
Yeah, definitely offer to extend. I mean, they'd love it.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. Great questions though, guys.
Yeah.
And yeah, Mindy, I know Jen said you had something on your mind. If you want to drop it in the chat, you can.
Let me see if I can also pull up her message.
What else is going on, guys? I mean, how are things going for you guys? I mean, this is crazy for everybody. So how are things going for everybody, and how's business? Are you doing anything differently, or, you know, what are you guys working on? I know for us, we've been able to sort of take and focus, you know, our, hold on. Oh, here goes Mindy.
Yeah.
Let me go with Mindy. So I'll back off.
Yeah.
Okay. So question is, how do you secure bookings over the phone? It did a wedding fair Sunday, super small, 1 to 3 photographers. A lot of vendors didn't show. The turnout is usually 750 to 1,300 people. Saw maybe 100 tops, 40 entries.
I'm surprised I didn't cancel, Mindy.
I am too, to be quite honest with you. So here's the deal, Mindy. If you're used to meeting people in person for this kind of stuff, as we know you are, and as Jess and I are, you're not going to meet in person right now, period. I mean, you could, but you'd be putting yourself and them at risk, right? So what I would do is start working on your policy, or start working on practicing booking online, but implementing everything the same way that you would do in person. So do a Zoom meeting, right? Have a Zoom set up, be in your studio, be in your space, do everything the same exact way, walk them through. Look, obviously the situation is what it is. Like nobody's going to argue you that you didn't come meet them at their house. So I think, excuse me, what you would do is just call through all those leads that you have, see what you can land as far as Zoom consultations. And then every one of those Zoom consults, just work them, you know, get better on, you know, doing it over the phone or doing it over Zoom or doing it online. And then when it's time to get back in person, you're going to be even more refined. But then if you ever need to do it online, you can still do it online too. So now you kind of have, you know, the double-edged sword, so to speak.
She could also do Zoom calls too. That's what so when my husband and I got married, we got married in Mexico. And obviously you can't meet your photographer in person when you're, you know, doing a destination wedding, unless, you know, they're local and you're bringing them with you. So we actually did a Zoom call with them, and that was really helpful. So in times like these, Zoom is very handy. So FYI, not to like throw a wrench into what Ross has said, but that's another option for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think Zoom right now is what you would probably do. I mean, that way you can at least show them what you're working with, and you know, because like phone calls are great. Like Jen, I know you do a lot of phone consultations with your business, really primarily, right? So it's like you're not even seeing the stuff in person when you call them. Zoom is like about as close as you can get to being in person without them being there. And that's what Jess is doing right now. She's doing a lot of Zoom consultations where she would normally have regular consultations. And we've had decent results. I mean, the show rate's been about the same or a little bit better. She still had a pre-purchase there. And we did our first Zoom reveal yesterday. And we had a really nice reveal sale there too. First time we've ever done a reveal on Zoom. So, you know, the technology's there, the strategy's there. It's more about just going in confidently and acknowledging, hey, I'm in a situation where I can't have you to my place or I can't come to yours. But what am I going to do to take my business to the next level and keep it rocking in the midst of all of the stuff that's going on? Because like we're all in that same boat. We're all dealing with the same stuff. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that gives you some clarity, Mindy. I think, you know, the worst thing you can do is just nothing, like not do anything, right? You need to be active. You need to be doing things, you know, whether it's working on your website, tweaking your portfolio, potentially meeting with clients, whatever it is. Take the calls, take the Zoom meetings, just stay busy. Keep your mind in your business while all this stuff's going on, because a lot of people are diverting their attention to panic. And if you divert that attention to your business, you're going to see a lot better results, I think.
So she followed up with, she has her samples, and most of them looked them over, but, or most of them looked, but over the phone, it's hard to show them the samples and get them to commit.
It's probably going to be a thing. It's probably going to be with weddings specifically. It's probably going to be a challenge right now because people are up in their own dates. You know, it's like
I have to say we didn't choose our wedding photographer based on their album samples. We chose them based on the quality of the photos that they took and if they were in our budget. I wouldn't focus too much on the samples right now. I would focus on selling yourself and your brand and what you can bring to the table for your wedding day. Now, again, I'm not a wedding photographer, so Ross can correct me if I'm wrong. But that's what I would focus on. And when you're able to meet in person, bring them in and show them their album samples and stuff too.
Yeah, I did weddings for a long time, as you know, Jen and Mindy, you know. And you know, the one thing I can say with absolute certainty is that people connect more to you than they do anything else. So like the work is important. They want beautiful work, but man, they got to like you first. So we know what kind of personality you have. We know how infectious you are with people. And so you just got to use that to your advantage, try to leverage that right now. You know, otherwise, like right now, we're just all kind of figuring out new ways to do things. This is sort of like a you know, blazing a new trail in a lot of ways for some of the stuff. Your cat in the background's hilarious. Just like a random cat.
Sorry. What are you doing? Where'd you go? There you are.
But yeah, that's how I feel about it. That's where I am with it. And I think, Mindy, just see what you can do with what you have available right now. And to Jen's point, focus on yourself, focus on connecting to the client. And the work's great. You know, they're going to love what you do. You know, I think if they connect with you, that's your best shot.
Yep.
So it's a great question.
Also, her minimum collection is 6 hours, and she's had people asking about the rear collection. Okay, all right. So this is where pricing comes in. So you've heard that other photographers sometimes have gotten taken because, like, the bride and the groom booked them, said it was an engagement party, and it ended up being like a wedding. And there's a point to this. If you price yourself basically by the hour for all event photography, it won't matter if it books you for 3 hours versus 6. Obviously, you want 6 hours, but if couples are doing elopements and small weddings right now and they only need you for 3 hours, make that worth your time. So, like, what does it take for you to get out of bed that day? What's your minimum? And then what is your per hour? And then you go from there.
Yep. Yeah, because the last thing you want to do is go give like your time and talent and do it for like $500. And that's how I feel. I think that's how you feel, Jen. That's how I think most people feel. Unfortunately, a lot of people do that because they don't know how to actually position themselves better. So yeah, make it worth your time, Mindy. I mean, at the end of the day, if it's worth it to you, that's cool. But just make sure that you're getting what you believe your work is worth, you know, when you're booking through like that.
Yeah,
for sure. Great questions.
I thought Taylor hopped on too. No, you're fine, girl. So we're all good. Hit us up with questions if you have any. We're shooting the shit today.
Yeah, we're just very impromptu. I'm sitting. What's that?
We have time.
We have time. I'm not. I'll tell you guys one thing I've thought that was really cool. So, or one thing I've been seeing that's really cool is outside. Like I look at my window right now, and I'm sitting in like our assistant's office. So like if I keep looking out to the left, it's because things are happening. There's so many people outside right now walking dogs and running and exercising and getting out in nature. That's something I feel like I haven't seen like this much in so long. It's really cool. So there's a really cool thing happening with, you know, the whole like forced shutdown of a lot of this stuff. Like we're kind of like the only thing we can really do is go outside or stay in our houses. So it's interesting. And people have also been nicer. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but like you haven't noticed that. You're in DC. So,
yeah.
You know. But people in our neighborhood have been like super nice. Like, I mean, we're meeting people, asking them about the dog, talking to them. It's like conversations that have never been had.
Yeah, this is not here.
So DC may be the exception, but
yeah,
you guys know what's up. Taylor's asking, so what should we be focusing on right now while we have downtime?
Well, girl, you got your list, right? So
yeah,
put them out in order of importance. What do you want to have done today, or what do you want to do? And then check off like how long do you think it would take you to do, you know, your blog posts? How long would it take you to do social media posting, scheduling and stuff? And then block off that time, knock them out like one at a time. Just go down your checklist, do the things you don't want to do first. So they're out of the way and then you don't have a reason to not do them later.
I thought too, right? So, okay.
So see, it's a Southern thing, Ross. DC's a little too far north, I think.
Listen, I don't know where the hell you guys live, but I know Jen lives in DC.
Taylor's outside of Pittsburgh.
Yeah. I mean, look, so people here have been nicer, okay? I can't speak for everywhere, but they've been nicer than I remember people being in a long time. So, Taylor, let me ask you a question. So as far as you're asking what you should be focusing on, think of something like this, right? Like what is something that you've really wanted to get done for a long time and just haven't been able to find the time to do? Because I look at it and I'm thinking like, there's things that I want to do that I haven't been able to do in a long time. So now I'm like, shit, I got this time for a couple of weeks. I'm still going to work on my business and the things I normally do, but I'm also going to try to bring in things that I haven't had time for in a while. And I feel like that stacks the deck even more in my favor when things are lifted and we're all free to go back about our daily life. So, that to me is how I would look at it. For me, like, what do I want to do that I haven't had time to get to, or time has been, I haven't had enough time to commit to it recently. Because I think we all technically have time if we really look for it. But you got to have some me time too.
Yeah. Also, Taylor, so you don't like doing blog posts, neither do I, which is pretty funny because I used to blog all the time. So what you can do, because writing blog posts is actually really hard, is just write a questionnaire in Dubsado, where like you can send it to them. So like, why did you book your session? What were you hoping to get out of your session? How did your session change your perception of yourself? What was your favorite image? Things like that. Like ask them all kinds of questions. Ask them to dig deep, and write 3 or 4 sentences for each one. Boom, blog post material. All you have to do is just copy and paste, and you're done. Which is what I've been doing. Actually, I have somebody who turned one in, and I still haven't blogged it, but now I have time. So and they have time to answer them. So because they're not doing anything either. I mean, I shouldn't say that. Some people are with their kids and they're working from home, but they got more time, and so you're in a good position to ask them for that. Also, you can ask them for reviews. So I saw what you posted earlier, and I reshared it, and I was like, hey guys, how about some Google reviews and Facebook reviews and stuff? So we'll see how that goes.
People are home right now, so like the opportunity to reach people is better than it's ever been.
Yeah, and they're online because that's their only socialization right now. So
can I jump to Kim? Let me jump to Kimmy's real quick, because in regards to our question about ads, where is it? They're getting comments buried in here. Hold on.
Yeah.
So Kimmy, where did that go? I hit 20 comments.
Let me refresh it. Let me see if that works.
She asked, like, what are we doing for our strategy, basically, right? So
yeah, I'll let you answer that one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not changing my strategy. In fact, if anything, you may consider, and look, so it's kind of like, it kind of seems like a catch-22, right? It's like, so work in a way slows down. So you need to start thinking, like, a lot of people will think more conservatively, but I'm almost thinking the opposite, because now more than ever, there are people in front of the computer willing and able to spend time there and able to see my ads, right? So if I'm running ads, I'm not going to slow them down. I may actually increase the ad spend on it, because it's going to get served to more people who are actually, sitting, having the time to take it in.
Yeah, and people are still booking. I booked somebody today, and she said to me, "This gives me something to look forward to during."
Yes, that's right.
Like, yeah, gives me something to look forward to.
It gives us all something to look forward to. Like, I'm feeling like I want to get out of my house and go do something, But like, and you're the same way. I know you stay home a lot and work. I stay home a lot and work. I think it's the thought that you can't do it that starts to get to you. It's like
moping in bed the other day.
Yeah, and I've done the same thing. It's like but it's all a mindset thing, right? It's all like it's what you focus on. So if you focus on the things you can't do, you're gonna ultimately like be depressed or stressed or whatever. I'm choosing to focus now on the things that I can do, and that's pretty much the stuff that I always do, anyways, with the exception of photographing people in person, right?
Yeah.
So how can I reach more people? Get them on the phone, get them on FaceTime or Zoom or whatever it is, and carry out the things that we normally do, like business as usual. I mean, that's really what I'm focusing on. I think that's what most people should be focusing on, because like Jen said, people want something to look forward to. I mean, people have been home with their kids for a week now and like pulling their hair out,
And there are essential employees who are putting in a lot of overtime right now, and they've got the money to spend with, and, make them want to do it with you. They're going to want to treat themselves,
Don't judge who may be looking at your ad based on your situation either, because maybe like if you've been laid off or money might be a little tighter because you're a photographer and you're in this industry and things are slowing down a little bit. Don't judge or make somebody else's situation match yours, because it's just not true. Like Jen said, there are a lot of times people are getting paid overtime, double time. People are still working from home. People have 6-figure jobs that are tech jobs that they work from home anyways.
This isn't impacting them. So yeah. I mean, really, when you think about it, the industries that are being impacted are your service industries.
Right.
paid by the hour, like restaurants and small businesses like us, actually, because we can't actually work unless we are physically working. So, but there's a lot of industries that are not impacted by this right now. So I would just continue to take advantage of them.
Yeah, I'd say the focus needs to just go more to securing bookings now,
Yes.
collecting upfront for retainers, and if you're doing pre-purchases, sorry about that bang, that was my ring. If you're doing pre-purchases or anything, try to secure those. Just try to get some revenue on the front end building, and you just got to weather this thing out. I mean, that's what you do.
Yep. So Mash was asking, people are starting to offer distance sessions where everyone remains over 10 feet away, and brief sessions and shoot with a long lens like a 70-200.
Mhm.
What are our thoughts on this if it's basically the same as taking a walk around with your camera? I've seen people doing that, and I don't have any like preference one way or the other. I think if you're maintaining your social distance, then you're probably fine to do those sessions. I think it's a lot harder to connect with people when you
Yeah,
have to be, pretty far away from them. But if you're doing on location, you can still do your job. The only downside to that is if you're going to like the cherry blossoms at the tidal basin, it's going to be pretty hard to maintain like a 10-foot distance because there are still people going to the blossoms right now. I want to say I saw on Capital Weather Gang or WTOP that people, there were still like hundreds of people out there at sunrise. So you just kind of have to be careful like where you're going. Like if you know some quieter spots, then yeah, why not?
yeah.
Would.
And Jess and I talked about doing this down at the farm, and just doing it as a way to spread or stretch our wings out creatively a little bit more, get out of the house.
Yeah.
Obviously, no hair and makeup, guys. You don't want to put people in that proximity. I would try to pick somebody maybe who's really good at doing the hair and makeup if you're shooting for fun. If you have a client, or maybe you book a client who's a hairstylist or makeup artist and they're really good at it, those are ways to maybe generate some work. Definitely keep your distance. I know for Jess, it's so impossible for her to not put her hands in hair and flip stuff around and stuff. So it would be a challenge, right? But I mean, look, right now, like if you can set something like that up, why the hell not? Why not try it? Just be smart about it. Be safe. Don't jeopardize anybody.
When we were in Vegas, we paid models to pose for us for 2 days. We had one girl on each day, and they had their hair. Well, they had their hair and makeup done, but there's models who know how to do their hair and makeup, and them, they're looking for work too. So you could probably get them on discounts. Not that I want to like say, hey, cheap out on them, but that gives you both content to market.
Right. That'd be a smart move, honestly. If you could get build content at a time where nobody's really out building content. To me, I would use it more for that than trying to secure clients personally.
Yeah.
Because I'd rather my clients have the full experience of the hair and the makeup and all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Totally great for content shooting. So, I mean, if you've got the downtime and they do too, go out there and do it.
Totally. These are great questions, though, guys. I love this the distance sessions. That's like people will always share their creativity. By the way, let me show you guys about creativity. I was just showing Jen this before the call. When's the last time you guys saw one of these bad boys? I just got this from my mom, my grandfather. So when he passed away, he left a bunch of his old camera gear and stuff at his house. My mom sends this thing to me. She brings it over. I'm like, I haven't seen one of these things in 20 years. But as we're talking about creativity and spreading wings and trying new things, can you imagine if this is what we had to work with today? I just think how cool is it that the technology exists now that not only can we create amazing images and do it at a high level with technology that's way smaller than this and way better, but that we can also use the internet to better our business and better ourselves and find creative ways to continue to keep the wheels turning when there's a freaking global pandemic happening. That's 20 years ago, we would all have been like, what the hell am I going to do? So.
Are you good at editing? Offer editing services to people who are still working or who have a backlog. Do you have lots of custom presets you've created that people have asked you about? Ooh, like me. This is a great time to launch your preset business. Not that I'm going to do that. We'll see.
Y'all drop your email. You have a link tomorrow from Jen about a preset.
Yeah. I haven't done that yet, but I have the domain.
I love it. So you're a thinker. I know we've got it.
But I was thinking about this before, so this is a good time to do it. Anything that's revenue, like a revenue stream. Are there shops, on Etsy that need product photos, like reach out to them, say, hey, listen, I can do it for, like send me a box of goods. I'll do it for trade. And I mean, it's not making money, but at the end of the day, like you're creating content and you're expanding your horizons. So
yeah. And guys, I mean, this could be an awesome opportunity if you do something like that to network as well.
yeah.
To meet people that could talk, could actually talk about you or have you top of mind, because that's a big thing. Staying top of mind. That's a huge thing, honestly,
Yep.
Because people, there's so much, we're all so like flooded and inundated with like so much now, I don't know. What are you laughing at?
Oh, Mash. She said, get on it, girl. She knows about it too. I've been talking about it for a while.
She wants them presets. She wants them Jen James presets.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I do have the domain. I just need to figure out it's a whole undertaking. There's so many other things I could be working on. So I don't know. We'll see.
There's like an element of paralysis analysis right now too.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh,
it's happening to me internally where I'm like, shit, I could do all this stuff. And I'm like, where do I start?
What do I do first? I'll watch Netflix.
Well, yeah, right. Netflix does not count. If you're watching Netflix for more than an hour and a half or 2 hours a day, you need to stop and start working on your business again, because you're killing your productivity.
Yeah.
And I'm guilty. Look, guys, I took a week and sort of like, I won't say sulked, right? But I took like a week and was like, okay, I'm going to give myself the break I know I need and relax, and I'm going to get back to it. And I think you guys need to do that too. Make sure that you're taking breaks and relaxing and just getting the you time in. This is a good time for that too. So Netflix for more than an hour and a half, 2 hours a day.
No, stop. Let me go back. Oh, that's handy. Okay.
Did you unmute your?
No, I clicked on. I was trying to click on, and go on.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm basically saying, hey, Netflix is cool. I watch it myself. And Ozark comes out in a week, season 3. So I'm going to definitely binge that one day. But I'm going to be working on my business like 85% of the time.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. I haven't actually watched that much Netflix. So
good.
Yeah.
Not to say you shouldn't have any fun, right? It's just like, that's the problem. So let's pretend there's no pandemic, right? Let's pretend everything is normal. Do you know how many people just kill all their time and productivity on Netflix and like on YouTube and stuff?
I know.
Crazy.
TikTok is the newest one.
What's that?
TikTok is the newest one. People are spending time. Like it's fine. No judgment for me, but yeah, like there's like, if you've got time for that, you've got time to hustle. That's right.
So these are great questions, guys. This is fun. I'm glad you guys are here. Anything else you guys want to talk about? I mean, Kimmy, did that help your question about ads enough, as far as like not really changing pace or changing anything up, but potentially even increasing ad spend there? Does that help you out? And there's like a 30-second delay. So while she's responding, anything else you guys want to talk about? We're shooting the breeze, man. So we're like,
yeah,
bring it up.
Times.
So how about the stock market? Let's not talk about that.
So side note, I definitely, guys, do not recommend checking your 401k right now. I did that, and my husband did that. We were both like, whoa. It was really painful. And we were talking about it yesterday, and then I checked it again, and he was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm just checking it again. And it had fallen even more. And he was like, you're not allowed to look at it anymore. I'm like, I look at it like twice a year maybe. And so it hurt. But I mean, I know it'll bounce back. It's fine. I'm not worried about it. But I was like, damn. So I don't even want to look at it anymore. It was so much money that was gone.
Give yourself 30 days, right? Like at least 30 days.
No, Mash, I won't sell. No, it's there to stay. I don't even think I can. It's all mutual funds and stuff. So, but it hurt, like it hurt right in my soul when I saw those numbers. I was like, damn, okay. So yeah. So don't check your stocks. Don't check your 401k. Check none of that. Like, don't even
basically just check on your business. Just work on your business.
Yeah. Check on the extroverts in your life, because they're not okay. Introverts like me are fine. This is great. This is no different than normal. I mean, I always wanted an excuse not to leave my house, and now I have it.
This is like the best sort of time ever for you.
It is like nobody's judging me now. Lee doesn't come home and say, you haven't left the house in 11 days. Not that
I'm not leaving for at least 11 more, Lee. So.
Yeah, God, we're stuck together for another 4 days now. He's got work from home on Monday and Tuesday, so it'll be Saturday through Tuesday that I'm with him while he yells at his video games. Oh, Mindy says, so you're pretty much homeschooling my kids. No school until at least April 20th. Pray for me. It's funny that it's April 20th. You live in Colorado, right? So that would be a celebration.
Wait. She's in Colorado and they're going back on 420.
Yeah, maybe. She's not okay. She's an extrovert times 100. Now I feel you.
Yeah.
Actually, so introverts, I joke, but we're not okay either because, like Ross said earlier, it's the knowledge that you can't go out that like kills you. So Lee and I are actually going to take a drive, I think tomorrow on Skyline Drive. Although he was like, "Why would we do that? There's nothing blooming." But I think there is going to be stuff blooming, and I don't even care. I just need to leave the house and do something. So we're probably going to take a drive on Skyline Drive tomorrow or Sunday. Mash said
SBA loans,
SBA is offering disaster loans. Yes. So just make sure that if you're taking those, you're reading the disclosures. I used to work in the banking industry, so you want to make sure that you're not getting screwed like student loan screwed. But I'm sure it's fine, but you never know.
If you need to take something like that to stay afloat, guys, there's no shame in that either.
Yeah, no, not at all. I mean,
there's no shame in that.
Mash said Photoshop is offering 3 months free. Go to cancel and the option will appear. I saw that. I unfortunately pay by the year, so that's not going to apply to me. But I hope you guys actually have that opportunity to grab that from Adobe. Kimmy said yes. Facebook ads doing the same. Would you tweak the type of ad? Probably what Ross said. You could probably increase your ad budget because there's more eyes on it. Think about who is working right now, who's an essential employee. Maybe you can duplicate your ad and target to the people who are like on the front lines, like first responders and medical personnel and things like that, because girl, they are going to want something to do after this is over.
Mindy, should I go ahead and change careers? The weed shops are doing well. So Mindy, I would love to get into the marijuana industry. So if it's something you want to do, let me know. Maybe we can, when this clears up, we'll fly out there and figure it out.
I bet they're doing really well. And you know who else is probably doing really well? The gaming industry. So a side note, totally a little bit off topic. When we had the recession in 2008, the gaming industry did not get hurt at all. They actually increased. They did amazing during the downturn. So because if you're going to spend money, would you rather spend money on a video game or would you rather spend money going to the movies? Like one is going to give you way long-term pleasure. And the other one is like a couple of hours. So most people were spending money, on video games and, gaming and stuff because like you were getting a lot back for that $50. So, yeah, definitely. Let's see. Yeah, she said the weed shops are doing really well. I bet they are. People got time to smoke.
A lot of time to smoke weed.
Virginia, that's not legal here. So good old.
Hey man, no shame in that either. If you need that to calm your nerves right now, that's cool. I mean, do what you got to do.
And yes, you could make a side hustle. Go work in a shop.
Totally.
Why not?
Totally. I bet that's a market that you could find. Pigeonhole, photography, marijuana. Somebody could combine those two, and you figure something out.
They do need product photos of their product. So
it'd be cool to see like tight macro shots of like some tight buds.
I only sound like a couple of potheads. I promise you guys, I do not.
I don't even know the last time I smoked pot. I've never smoked pot.
You're such a fucking liar.
Kidding.
Probably the last time I was in Colorado was the last time I did it.
I can't sit still, man. I'm fidgety. Like I want to get up and do something.
The liquor stores are thriving too. They are here too, but they're going to get shut down, I think. I know they shut them down in Pennsylvania, right? Taylor's still on, right? Did they shut him down? So hopefully she is still on and she hears that. So I think we're going to go with mandatory shutdowns. Also, something I guess we should probably talk about is like reschedules and things like that, because as Mash asked earlier, like how long do you think this is going to go? And we don't really know. The husband's, but yeah, that's right. So husband works for the feds, so she can't partake. So we don't really know how long it's going to last. And honestly, you'll probably have more reschedules in April. My makeup artist lost every single wedding that she had scheduled in April, so that's really a hard time for her. I'm going to weather this storm. Actually, don't tell her if you know her, but I just ordered a big box of Georgetown cupcakes to be sent to her next Wednesday. So she can kind of feel a little bit better about all this. But I'm actually going to take care of her and pay her for the reschedules and stuff, because she's lost a lot of business. So I would definitely be cognizant of the fact that some people are not working, and just show them some grace. So if they're on a payment plan and they need to change their payment plan up, like, do it. At the end of the day, you're going to look like a hero. If they need to go ahead and reschedule, like, I have a client in LA. She's flying out. She's supposed to be flying out here, uh, funny enough, for a session on April 20th. And LA, well, the entire state of California has been put on lockdown. So, I don't think they even have domestic travel. I'm not totally sure on that, but she's not going to be able to fly out here for her session. So we're going to have to reschedule her. And she's actually right at the 30-day mark. But even if she was like at the 1 week mark, I wouldn't penalize her for it, because nobody's been through this before. We don't know what's happening. And, at the end of the day, we just need to show everybody some grace, because this is some hard shit people are dealing with. This is the word unprecedented. So.
And guys, just know, like, there will be people that reach out to cancel, and we've had it, like, and I know you guys are going to have it too, where they say, hi, I need to cancel my session because of everything going on, blah, blah, blah. Just understand that people are canceling and wanting to put these measures in place because they're afraid, and that's okay. What you need to do is be there for them and be somebody who is there to support them and say, hey, look, I get it. We can actually reschedule it for you. We can push it back, 2, 3, 4, 5 months, whatever you need. Like, we've got you. A lot of times people think cancel because they go right into panic. They don't even think reschedule. So it's a good nugget. Make sure you offer them the opportunity to reschedule with you or to push it back.
For it. And I had a client, she's supposed to have a session next Tuesday, and I rescheduled her, obviously. And I was like, listen, like, I'm closed until at least April 1st. We don't know how long this is going to last. I need to get you back. I need to get you on the books for a different date. What works for you? We talked it through, and it was actually pretty difficult to reschedule, because I think she really wanted it, in March. She was trying to have a baby, and she just found out she's pregnant. She doesn't want to be showing the photos. My schedule is packed until like mid-July, and I managed to squeeze her in for June 1st. She was still really hesitant for the June 1st date. And I said, listen, you're going to be like 16 weeks along when that comes along. You're probably not going to be showing yet. And even if you are, I can pose you in ways that it's not going to show your bump, because she really doesn't want her bump showing. She didn't want a maternity boudoir. She didn't want a post-baby boudoir. She wanted it done before she was pregnant. But this is the only compromise. And I think, honestly, she wanted to cancel, but I shut up. So I didn't say anything. I gave her the options. I presented them to her, and then I let her make her decision. So I wouldn't be afraid to speak up with alternatives if they are difficult, if that makes sense, because she was a little bit difficult. And in the end, like, maybe she doesn't end up keeping her session. I don't know, but at least I have her on the books for a different date. So that's just something to think about.
It's good stuff, guys. So Jen and I are definitely going to hop on next week and chat some more stuff through with you guys. Yeah, I volunteered her. So if you guys want to discuss anything next week, let us know. Let us know what you want to talk about. We're just like, one of the big things we wanted to do this year is just get in this group, keep it more active, and just kind of hang out with you guys, and just be present. And right now is as good a time as any. This is one of those things on my to-do list. I've been so busy. Jen, I know you've been so busy. We can find some time now to do this. And I really want to make this a staple of this group. I want to be here for this community. So next week, if you guys have anything that you want to talk about, throw it in the comments. Mention it to us now. Let's chat. Let's cut it up. I mean, we're just having a good time riding out the storm like everybody else.
Yeah.
So.
Is there anything that you wanted to cover that we didn't cover?
To me?
Yeah, you. Yeah.
It's got a bunch of stuff we could talk about. I mean, just things like, I don't know where everybody is mentally, but like making sure you're prioritizing your health. Get outside, get 30 minutes of vitamin D a day, at least get moving, get the blood flowing. You need to get outside. I know allergies are tough, but I'm telling you that vitamin D's no joke, man. I mean, it's like It's like it's not. I was gonna say liquid gold. It's basically gold. It's magic. When I go outside and sit on the deck and just like put my face up to the sun for 5 minutes, like there's just something about that feeling. So, and vitamin D is great for you. It's great to be outdoors. So at the very least, get outside and connect with nature. Nature's frequency is perfection. And so for me, it always brings me back to, the things that are important. And I can put my stresses down. I can put my worries down, take a few deep breaths, cough a little bit because not asthma, but the pollen stick. But, just get out there and do it.
I've heard you have asthma, yeah.
Yeah. But
that's fun.
What's that?
And allergies.
Allergies. So I have a hack for that.
Hey, Justin. Sorry, go ahead.
Is Justin on?
Yeah, he just joined.
What's up, Justin? You know how dogs will like find the spot on the floor when the sun's beaming in?
Mm-hmm.
Like we can do that too. It sounds ridiculous. We can do that too. Because I've actually done that. Like when it was like 40 degrees outside, but the sun beamed through, my dog's in the door, and I'm like, I bet that feels really good. And I went and laid there for like 20 minutes. It felt great. So weird hack, but make sure you're getting some sun, get some sun, get some exercise, and just get outside, damn it.
Yeah. Justin, if you have any questions, we're not hopping off quite yet. I'm not gonna let Ross do that to you. But hit us up in the comments, and I want to know how you're doing too. How business is for you out there.
Yeah, man, it's been a while since we chatted, so I'm glad you hopped on.
Yes, Taylor, the liquor stores. I heard that he closed them, or he basically like closed all businesses.
Liquor stores are, I guess
Pennsylvania, yeah.
Aren't there like aren't people doing like takeout liquor and stuff now?
I don't know. It might depend on the state. Like I can see South Carolina doing that because they have the brew-throughs, but actually I think they have brew-throughs in Pennsylvania too. I'm not really sure.
OBX has it too, like brew-through, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've done that before. Let's see. The last time that I smoked, Nash, I don't know, like 2017, right?
Nash trying to call you out.
I know. I really think it was 2017. No, you're thinking of that story. That was like 5 years ago. No, I've since then. Yeah. Wait. Oh, no, Canada. Yeah.
Blame Canada.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I didn't really feel anything though.
Uh-oh, Jen just disappeared. What the heck? Hold on, guys. I'm gonna see if she's coming back. Hold on. She's coming back. Hold on. What the heck? Where'd you go?
Quit. I was like, did you kick me off?
Somebody was like talking about the last time you smoked weed, and you were like, vanish.
It was last year, Canada. So, because it's legal, I don't break the law. And he said on health, if you're interested in natural health, check out the Netflix special Heal. I will do that. And Mash says they're delivering. What are they delivering? Oh, are they delivering booze here, Mash?
Alcohol. I heard alcohol.
Amazing. Yeah. I know they're doing takeout at some of the wineries. Some of the bigger wineries are closed, but
that was part of the government stimulus, right? They were doing cash and 2 handles of Jack.
That sounds like a deal. So let's see.
Happier than ever.
Huh?
The country is now happier than ever. So
right. They're either smoking or drinking, and homeschooling their kids.
Guys, if you guys are homeschooling, any of you, man, mad respect to you guys. I know.
Mash, girl. Huh? Mash too, yeah.
Mash and Mindy for sure, man. Props to you guys. I know that's a tall order right now.
For real. I'm not envious. I know how good I have it, like being not, like having my stepkid like in another state. Not that that's like a good thing. I love him, but like his mom is managing his online school, and I am really grateful for that because I don't think I could. I don't think I would be good at that. Wow, she said yes, they are delivering booze.
Yeah, it's gonna be on Instacart in 5 minutes. Being like,
there is.
Gift for my wine slushies.
Oh man, that sounds good. Hold on, I'm gonna text Lee that I definitely need the ingredients for a wine slushie. Let's see here. Please pick up ingredients for wine slushie. He's gonna tell me no. Vicky knows better. So if you guys don't know about wine slushies, I'm just gonna like deviate a little bit. There's a winery here. I live in Loudoun County, which is like the wine country of the East Coast, and like anywhere from like here to Charlottesville, Virginia. And there's over 50 wineries and breweries in my county alone. And my county's big, but it's not that big. So there's a winery here called Quattro Goombas, and they actually are a winery and a brewery, and they make amazing, amazing pizza. And so they have these red wine slushies, and they're so good. I'm not a red wine drinker, but those red wine slushies are just to die for. And you pair that with their pizza.
Jen, I literally haven't had lunch, and now I'm so starving.
That sounds like that's your fault.
It is my fault.
Well, and I have a package, so.
And what?
I have a package. If you guys didn't hear my doorbell.
Oh, is that? Yeah, that's what
it was. So yeah.
Man, Mash, that's a tall order, man.
Hold on.
God bless you. Mindy, 5 and 6-year-old girls emptied out the toy tubs, filled them with water. Oh man, kids are creative, man. We could learn something from them. We probably shouldn't do everything that they do, but I mean, I think you can probably get some ideas from the kiddos that may actually be pretty good. Oh, here she goes, Chewy.
My liquid gold is here, you guys. My Lysol.
You got Lysol?
I did. I found it online.
Here we are, 2020. We're like excited about Lysol.
I also have toilet paper sitting at my feet. I've got like 12 rolls left. So like and liquid gold right there. Aerosol gold, I guess.
Talk about a business to get in right now. If you could find a way to take recyclable crate toilet paper.
Yeah, but that one guy got nailed by the
I'm not saying sell them for like $50 a thing. I'm saying you should make money on it, but like you should do it reasonably, right?
Yep. So well, I won't keep you from starving any longer.
Oh, I'm good. I mean, I figured we were kind of wrapping, and if you guys have anything else you want to chat about, like I said, Jen and I are going to chat. Jen, you're coming back next week. We'll talk some more next week, right?
Oh yeah, sure, okay.
I'm sure we can find some time to do that.
Yeah, I'm sure I've got time.
Nothing but time.
Yeah.
Nothing but time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great to have you guys on. And any questions in the meantime, drop them in the comments here, or just post on the page, man. I'd love to hear from you guys. Anything that's going on, it'd be cool to hear from you guys. And we look forward to catching up with you guys next week. And everybody, in the meanwhile, stay safe. Don't touch anybody that you don't know, and stay out of their
hands.
Wash your hands. Soap and water, right, is the most effective. I saw the meme that said "wash your hands like you're washing Jason Momoa."
I saw that too.
For me, it would mean I never wash my hands, but I get how a lot of the ladies would be washing their hands.
Yeah, there was another meme too about it. I need to find it. It was really funny. I laughed out loud. Mash is holding a photography competition in her VIP group, and the prize is a mini session with you. That's really awesome. I saw that. That's so cool. I'm excited to see how that turns out for you.
Keep posting.
And it connects you with them.
Invest in bidet.
I've been about bidet for a long time. I bet those stock market rates have soared.
Ooh, man. Zoom. I still think Zoom's going to skyrocket stock-wise. It has since it went IPO as well. It was $66 or something. It's like double that right now. So.
Oh, Kimmy's got a question for you. I'm gonna let you answer that because I only do phone.
Yeah. Kimmy says, what are the top ways you're finding virtual consults differ from in-person? Advice or tips or troubleshooting? Honestly, so Jess is on those more than me, like pretty much exclusively. She said nothing is really different other than the fact that it's not in person. So obviously, I believe that in person you have a little bit more of like a one-to-one connection, but right now that's just not happening. So really, it hasn't been much different. I mean, she got a pre-purchase on one today. She's had a couple that have no-showed. She had 3 yesterday that showed. So like all in all, it's pretty comparable to how the traditional in-person consults are. I actually think the show rates may even be a little bit better. So,
I rarely have somebody no-show me on the phone.
What's that?
I rarely have people no-show me on the phone. Maybe 10%.
Yeah.
Pretty low, all things considered. So.
It should be low right now too. So, you wonder if they're even worth like talking about at this point, if they're not going to show up to a call when they're most likely home. But again, you don't know what people are going through. They could be a situation where they've got 3 kids at home and it's just like the timing sucks. So they just ignore it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So like, we don't hunt them down. If they don't reach out and say, hey, can we reschedule? We just move on. But all in all, it's been good. It's been good so far. Jess has booked some sessions, had a pre-purchase, keeping the wheels turning there. So
yeah, I actually had somebody, I don't know if I told you this, but I had somebody who did, she was on a payment plan. She started it last month when we did her reveal, and she actually just paid it in full today.
That's awesome.
And she wasn't supposed to be done with it until October. So like, people are spending money. They want something nice to get them through this. So,
and spending money feels good.
That does.
It's therapeutic.
Yeah, unfortunately. So, fortunately for us, unfortunately for our wallets. So,
yeah.
People are still booking. This is like such a good time to get them on the phone. It's such a good time to get their eyeballs on your work. So work on your SEO, write blog posts, schedule out social media content, and be present. And don't be present with just your work. Be present, asking them how they're doing. I posted in my group a couple days ago, like, how are you guys doing? Like, is there anything I can help you with? And, let people know that you're thinking about them and that you're in this with them, because they need to know they're not alone.
Yeah, that little bit of reassurance and just support for them will go a long ways, guys. Yeah. It really does. I mean, like, just think about the next time somebody reaches out to you, or like you talk to a parent or a best friend or something, like how good it feels to have, another voice or somebody that you're connected to on the other end of the phone. They want and need that too. So I think this is a really good opportunity for us to create raving fans, even though there's a little bit of turmoil going on, actually a lot of turmoil. So just keep your heads up. And Kimmy, I mean, no different advice. Like, do the in-person, or I'm sorry, do the Zoom or virtual consult the same exact way you're doing the in-persons. Is the only difference is they're not there with you. So that's it. Don't change anything. I think that's the big key. Don't overthink it. Just do what you're doing. Do what's working for you guys already, and just be there for them. You're an advocate. So you guys just go rock it. Cool. I think that's going to wrap us up for today. It's been a pleasure. I can't believe we've been on for an hour, which is great. Well, Jim, you were on for like 59 minutes and 40 seconds because you disappeared. But yeah, guys, hope you have a great day, great weekend. Get outside, get some fresh air, and we'll catch up with you next week sometime. Take care, guys. Jen, thanks for being here with us.
Thanks for having me. See you guys later.
Always. See you guys.
Bye.
Love.